Josh Giddy has been one of the most impressive youngsters in the NBA this season. He's having a mind-blowing season, and in the last few weeks, he's really taken his game to the next level. That has led to the Oklahoma City Thunder having a great season. In today's video, we'll take a look at Giddy's impressive numbers and his fantastic display. Let's get straight into it, starting with Josh Giddy taking his game to a new level. Playing in his second NBA season, Josh Giddy has truly taken to the NBA, and as projected by many analysts in the offseason, Giddy's exploding. It's great to see when a potential is truly realized, and we're very excited to dissect his recent explosion. The 6th overall pick of the 2021 NBA Draft, Giddy's impressive leap this season deserves a lot of respect. That isn't to say that his first season in the league wasn't impressive. It was, and we'll get to that later in the video. It's just how good he's been playing this season. He's been one of the main stars in the Thunder's impressive campaign, and considering they weren't even expected to make it past the tanking spots, they're having a really great time, and Giddy's contributed big time. The Australian is looking very much the part of Thunder's setup, and his scoring has increased to over 15 points per game. ESPN Australia has been following the talented star, and Kane Pittman, an analyst for them, believes that Giddy isn't getting the respect he deserves for having an outrageously good second season in the NBA. Pittman revealed how Giddy's gone to a new level and how it's very interesting because he's not getting the same kind of attention that he did last season. Of course, that's understandable too, given how everyone expects a lot from rookies, and in their second years, they're more or less discarded unless they're doing something very, very special. But Pittman's not going to let this progress slide and wants to ensure everyone sees how far Giddy's come in recent weeks. Adding to that, Pittman breaks down Giddy's season. The analyst believes that Giddy has quietly taken a couple of steps in his year two in Oklahoma City, and that's probably been because of him having a larger share of the ball than he did last season. But despite having a larger share of the ball, Giddy's actually improved in the regard that he's been more efficient too. There were concerns over his shooting by the end of last season, but it seems that those concerns are history, given the jump he's made this season. Pittman noticed how the youngster is in a really nice vein of shooting form these days, and his scoring binge in the last few games has been great. That's a very good point, as last December was Giddy's most efficient month in terms of scoring since arriving in the NBA. Pittman explained that his average of 16 points per game in his year two deserves more attention, and it's great to see because he's scoring more efficiently at the basket than ever before. That's certainly true, and the statistics and numbers back that claim up too. You can see that in terms of his three-point shooting too. Pittman says that the 20-year-old is also shooting better from three than he ever has before, and that form has carried that form from December into the new year. That's actually another fantastic point, because in the last few games, Giddy's scoring at nearly 50% from the three, which is obviously unsustainable, but that just shows how red hot he is right now. No arguments there, mate. After that, Giddy's campaign so far. Pittman's quotes led us to look at the numbers behind Giddy's performances, and he couldn't have been more spot on. There's been a remarkable improvement in every statistic compared to the season before, and if the Australian youngster carries that on, he'll soon become one of the most coveted talents in the league. That is, if he isn't one already. Giddy is playing almost the same number of times that he was last season, and he's scoring at nearly 16 points per game. His field goal percentage has improved, and he's been shooting at 47.6%, while his three-point percentage over the course of the season has been above 34%. That's around the average mark, and as we'll see later in the video, it's been a huge improvement for someone who struggled to connect from those deeper shots. But it's not only been the shooting that impresses us. Giddy has been remarkable all around the court. He's becoming a two-way threat for the Thunder, given his genuinely decent defensive contributions have been complemented by his recent rich scoring form. The youngster averaged nearly a steal every game while coming up with a block every other game, and has been a very dominant figure in the paint too, averaging 8 rebounds per game. The 6th pick in the 2021 draft has been an impressive creator too. He's coming up with 5.6 assists per game this season, and while those numbers might be a little lower compared to the season before, they'll pick up too with the Thunder improving as of late. Moving on, Giddy's picked it up after a mixed rookie season. Last April, we were all very disappointed when Giddy didn't receive a single vote for the Rookie of the Year award. We're not saying that he was a frontrunner by any means, and he was, after all, very unlucky to have his season ended in February due to a hip injury shortly after becoming the youngest player ever in NBA history to score a triple-double, but that doesn't mean he had a poor season altogether. Giddy was one of the most impressive and underrated talents last season. He finished his rookie campaign averaging 12.5 points, 7.8 rebounds, and 6.4 assists in 54 appearances. That indicates the triple threat that Giddy brings to the Thunder, and he's been capitalizing on that all season long. Giddy's already recorded 2 more triple-doubles this this season, with the most impressive one coming against the New York Knicks when he scored 24 points while grabbing 10 rebounds and dishing out 12 assists. His mixed rookie campaign showed just how impressive he'll be once he gets used to the league. Given his frame, there was never any doubt about Giddy's ability to dominate the paint, and once he spends some more time in the gym, he'll become more of a threat in the paint. He was very much disappointed not getting a single vote in the Rookie of the Year voting, and if Pittman's analysis is correct, it's a little concerning that Giddy's not getting the media attention he deserves after having a much more improved second year. Up next, Giddy's worked on his shooting. The only concern with Josh Giddy last season was his shooting. He just couldn't connect from the deep. Given the rest of his profile, it was very strange that a youngster like him struggled so much to score from the three-point range. The worst part was the Thunder only needed him to get those numbers around the usual average of the league, but given the fact that he only shot at 26.3% from the three-point range, ended up being a concern for the fans and Giddy himself, who pointed out on a couple of occasions how he wasn't okay with his three-point shooting. In the offseason, Giddy vowed to work hard on his shooting, and while there wasn't much improvement in the offseason displays from the Australian, it seems that working hard at that time has finally paid off. Only a season after that dismal shooting display, Giddy's back and he's shooting brilliantly at over 34%. Now, it's not something to marvel at, but given how poor he was, it's a great improvement, and given the rest of his skill set, a three-pointer gives him the ability to become a bigger threat. Not to forget, Oklahoma City got him what was needed. This is what a well-run franchise looks like. The Thunder immediately realized that they had a superstar on their hands. With some work, Josh Giddy can genuinely become one of the most impressive talents in the league. That's why they realized that they needed to get him some help right away to improve his shooting, and they didn't shy away from getting the best in the business. The Thunder hired the legendary Chip Engelland, the most impressive three-point shooter in the NBA, to help Giddy's troubles from across the line, and it has worked like magic. His shooting has improved big time, and he's even experiencing a purple patch in his shooting, which will definitely help him big time in the rest of his promising career. After all, Engelland is the same coach who helped the likes of Kawhi Leonard and Tony Parker. He also worked closely with DeJounte Murray when he was at the Spurs, and it seems that in his short time in Oklahoma, the hiring is already paying dividends on Giddy and also the rest of the Thunder's roster. Finally, what does Giddy think about it all? Josh Giddy's remarkable maturity has to be mentioned. Despite not getting enough attention in his rookie year, the star boy hasn't stopped working on his development. For many, just getting to the NBA is the biggest achievement, but Giddy's not one of them. He wants to reach the Giddying heights, and we're not sorry, and he won't stop at anything. He revealed how good things don't happen overnight, and when you want to change something, you need to work for years and years. That's a lot of sense coming from someone who only recently turned 20. Giddy added that he's trusting Chip Engelland with his development, and how it was more about knowing which shots to take, and how confidence remains the biggest key if you are to improve from the range. Basically, his three-point shooting right now is better than the likes of Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Pascal Siakam, Fred VanVleet, Terry Rozier, and even Jordan Poole. Given how it was a focus, and he knew there would be a lot of eyes on that particular aspect, Giddy's done a great job. Hopefully, he can keep this quality up and keep on going, and hopefully the media can take out some time and praise the youngster for his impressive progress. That's a wrap for this video. Josh Giddy's exceptional form's keeping the Thunder interested in a possible push for the postseason. Do you think they'll get there? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.